Hello and welcome to another video. My name is Em and today we're going to be trying a new art supply, Pan Pastels. I got these two sets. I can't wait to open them and swatch them out and try them. People say that using these are kind of like painting, and in my head I'm thinking it's like painting mixed with color pencils. You can use these with color pencils. I think it'd be a really good tool to learn to integrate with my color pencil illustrations. So that's why I'm interested in them. And so let's try them out, let's swatch them, and then let's make some art with them. So people say you can even mix these colors together, and I really like that. This is pretty cool. See how this comes off. Ooh, I want to touch that really badly, but I'm not going to. So at the bottom of these, we have some little squishy things for the top of this thing that they've given, a little eyeshadow applicator and a sponge. This is actually really firm compared to what I thought it was in the videos that I've watched. I've been doing quite a bit of research on kind of how to use these and how they work. So I guess we have to go like this, just so we can see what the colors are. Yeah, I wish that there was tops to each one of these, I'll say right off the bat. I hope the bottom one is a pink color. Yeah, it is. So these are very pretty. And you know how I like my kind of brighter pastel-y colors. So jazzed about these. I hope they go on true to their shades. I know nothing. Should we swatch these first? I'm gonna swatch them, I guess, in this book, because I really do want to use them in my Royal Talents sketchbook. That's gonna be a deal breaker if I can't. I'm going to use this applicator thing. Okay, I want to look closely at what's happening here. Okay, I like it. What I'm looking for, I'll tell you what I was thinking about when I was buying them. Like what I imagine them to be is literally color pencil dust. I don't really want it to move that much the way that pastels, like oil pastels, you blend them with your hands. I don't particularly want to do that. I want to just put it on the paper and it be like a color pencil. It's quite nice, actually. It's not moving. It's not really moving after I put it in the paper and rub it in, which is good. Apparently these are also erasable. I'm thinking I can just go back in with the same thing. That's kind of what people were doing. Ooh, like that color. Okay, so now it's in. I can move the dust, but yeah, once I put it down, okay, that's good. That is really good. And apparently, people say you take a piece of printer paper, they said printer paper, because it's very smooth. You can put a little bit of the color on that because it doesn't really like sticking to very smooth paper. And you can mix the colors as if it's a palette, a paint palette, which I really liked that idea. Okay, cool. I'll do a proper swatch in a second. I just want to... The things I'm curious about are like, if I dip this into different things, since I can mix it like paint, I don't want it to muddy up the colors, you know, on the brush thing or the applicator. I want it to be nice. They say just keep a piece of paper towel beside you to wipe it off and it should be fine. Look how nicely that blends. That is so fun. Do I love it? Oh, I'm jazzed. I really, really like this color. Okay. Okay, I've got a little piece of paper towel here. I'm just going to wipe this off as I go. And let's just do the blue. I'm not sure what the color names are at this point. I'm going to try to blend them all in a line just so we can see what happens there. Green, this minty green color is very nice as well. And I guess once it comes off on the paper, doesn't really seem to be transferring much into the other pans. I was really worried about that, about like the whole applicator situation and the whole it transferring and blending into each other. I don't like it when they mix. I don't want to have to worry too much. I want to be able to do things quite quickly within reason. Okay, pink. Yeah, and I can control it pretty well actually. Seems that everything I was thinking was going to be wrong is not that big of an issue. Kind of thought, problems I usually have with pastels. I haven't used pastels since I was probably like 15 years old, but they're not really my thing, so I was just worried about that. This seems to be okay. That's really cool. Let's try to erase a line. See if something erases. Apparently, oh my god. You can erase these really easily. Like nothing's there. That's sick. I love that. That's really cool. Interesting. Let's try putting a color pencil on top. Okay, easily you can. Ooh, I'm jazzed. Okay, so this one is called Extra Dark. Extra Dark Shades. They had a lot of ones with sparkles and stuff in them. I'm not really a sparkle, I don't like adding sparkles in that way. I like when things are really like matte. Okay. So we have a nice green. I really like this green. Nice dark green. Ultramarine blue. Violet, extra dark violet. Dark red. And another nice green. Love that. Love those two together. Love those three with the pastel. Okay, I'm just so excited right now. So let's see this. Apparently you can wash these applicators and dry them and stuff, which I love. I don't like wasting. Quite dark. I like that. So we're going to get a better feel for how this works here. You know the person who's really famous artist on like TikTok and stuff, Mad Charcoal? I think he likes to use these quite a bit. I think he tends to just do black and white kind of stuff, but he does other things too. But I think this is what he uses because he seems to always have these kinds of pans out. Obviously the darker colors are going to show up, a little bit more. Still a very nice color. Is this a permanent color? Ultramarine blue it's called, so it's very nice. The pigment is really nice. So I'm still wiping these off because I want to see if it does transfer. And I just have to give it a quick wipe. It's showing up on this as like a stain, but it's not too hard to take off. It doesn't seem to be showing up on the paper very much. So now I'm doing the violet one. Oh, I like that. I like it a lot. I like the marks you can make with it. Very nice. I think I'm taking too much. It's a bit powdery. I think that's my fault, but we're just doing a quick swatch, And as I rub it in, it just turns a nicer and nicer tone. They're very like neutral and soft. Oh, it's really cool. I love when trying something new works out. Or we haven't even done anything yet, but I just like when you're like, ooh, this is cool. This is new. I love the red. Wow. Cool. I watched a couple videos where people were sort of showing how they use them and sort of mistakes you can make. So just so I have an idea, a lot of people were saying don't pile too much up. Just kind of keep it like light layers. You know how I like light layers. Well, let's try this green. Likely going to be my favorite color. Yeah. That's my perfect green. Like I love this color green. And I think we could do a lovely Christmas style, maybe some holly or something like that, a drawing of that with these colors. And the point is that I'm going to use these colors in tandem with my color pencils. I want something to add in and make it look softer and more blurry. I was just thinking about how I really like blurriness and that kind of thing, and I really want to try to make it even more blurry. Here's the pastel yellowy color. I just want to see how these go together. Nice. Okay. Sorry, this is the messiest swatch you've ever seen. Another thing I got was this little spatula. I don't really know what to call it, but I saw a lot of people using this. Comes with a couple little things. I honestly wish it came with more. This is kind of, it was like 14 Canadian dollars. That's sort of a lot for what essentially feels like a beauty blenders, which also are expensive. So that's not really, but I think you can get them pretty cheap nowadays. And these, so I wish there was like at least triple the amount of these, because these things are like, this is like very cheap to produce. But when I looked online, there's not too much, and I know that this like is supposed to go with this stuff. So I was like, for the start, let's try what it's supposed to be. So I'm gonna try putting this on here. I guess you just squish it on. Came with a little makeup applicator too, but I need like this. Like I want it to be like a brush, you know? Ooh, cool. I like this tool. And in what came with the pastels in the little sets, there was these two. So I'm guessing that they can go on this as well. I'm sure they can, because again, like I'm pretty sure that this is part of the same company. I don't know, is it? Let me check. It says use with Pan Pastel, like the brand. So who knows? Actually, no, I'm going to say that that's probably good evidence to say that, yeah, you are. They go together. Let's try. This is mixed media paper. I wanted to see how it would go on this. Let's put a bit of the pink on. So immediately, I love the pastels. I'm not going to say anything. I don't have anything bad to say about what's happening here. I'm obsessed. No notes. Hey, that came off pretty good. And I like how it's swipey. Like I can definitely see how people get addicted to doing this. And I can see how it could be a very intuitive sort of process. Like I can see how people can just kind of whip out a face and they sort of dig away at the features of stuff when they're doing this. Like the Mad Charcoal guy, I can see how that could be so fun. I'm not saying it's easy. He's definitely super talented. I just could see how you'd want to go. I'm just going to do a couple little swatchy things right here to check the colors for when you put fixative on it. I want to see what happens. Some people said that there was some problems with it changing color. So I want to make sure that I have the right one. This is Winsor & Newton. This is the fixative I always use. Protects drawings from smudging and dust. I found it to work great so far. So on the back, it does say you can use it on charcoal, pastel, pencil, and chalk drawings. So that is sounding like what we need. So I'm going to take this outside and spray it. We're going to see if there's a difference, okay? Let's look at it now. Maybe I can do like a side-by-side. Ooh! Me. Editing me. Put the new one right here. Put the new one here. This is the old one. Think this may have darkened a little bit. Hard for me to tell right now in real time. Oh, it actually didn't do too much to fixate that, did it? I think it was a bit bit too powdery. Let's see. I kind of just went outside and quickly did it also. So wherever there is some dust there, I guess you have to blow off the dust maybe. So we're going to work on that. I'm not a fixative expert as well, but I do like the look of this. I feel like the fixative gave it a nice look. Not too concerned about it darkening. I think it looks fine. Oh, you know what I could do? Just put this right next to it. And some people use fixative in between the layers as well to stop stuff from moving, which I thought was really interesting. But I feel that fixative changes the way the color pencil goes on sometimes. So I'm not a huge fan of doing that. So I don't know if I'm going to try that, but it's good to know that that's an option. So there's our fixative test. I like this so much. I'm so happy. Oh yeah, and I threw out the wrappers, so I don't know what the colors' names are. Something about like ultramarine blue light or something. That's what we're working with for today. Okay, so now I guess I'll try to do some type of a forest scene. Editing me. Put the picture right here to show the people what we're going to do. Okay, so just going to try this. I should tape it off. Okay, taped it off. So we see the background. I'm just going to do the background. This is a fully an experiment. I'm going to do the background and see what happens. We may have to mix some colors, so I think that's good. The background is mostly this kind of purpley bluish, so I think this is perfect for what we're going for here. Blue at the top probably. So I hope I don't get that weird thing because I haven't cleaned this off properly. I don't want it to be muddy. I want it to be nice. Oh, you know what? Let's use this. The other thing that I saw, oh yeah, that's going on nice, but I don't want to do too much because they said keep it light, keep the layers light. So I'm gonna try to keep it light. Another thing that they were saying about these pan pastels is that they work very well with oil based color pencils, which is what Holbein color pencils are, and it is what polychromos pencils are. If you are using Prismacolor, that is wax based, that's going to be, I don't know if it's going to pose an issue, like I don't know, but someone was just saying that it may not work as well. So it's just good to know stuff like that because I'm guessing that these are oil-based as too. So apparently you can just blend them right in and it creates a really cool effect once you're using colored pencils. I'm just so jazzed to use colored pencils with this. Like, I wish I didn't have a little bit of art block right now so I could think about it, think about what I wanted to make. But I do. Such is the way. Okay, cute. Bit of pink, bit of that. So I'm getting to a point where I'm like, should I be brave and mix a little something? Should I? I don't know. Ooh, okay. Let's get some blue. I'm actually scared. Really, this is enough. I should stop here, but we're experimenting. What I want to, like, I could just do the rest with color pencil at this point. And I may not have the right stuff because those dark colors are a little desaturated, but I want this to be darker. I want the bottom to be more violet and darker. Again, printer paper may be the thing. I don't know if the Duralar, that I just don't have printer paper. So I just figured Duralar is the like next best thing that I have to printer paper. But as I was saying, I could just go in with color pencil at this point, so this could be a mistake, but I'm not going to get frustrated. I'm chilling. I'm excited. I want to see what we can do here. I'd love to make a little tree. And I'm going to show you, I was looking last night and I found a really cool artist. I've talked about Eyvind Earle before, doing Sleeping Beauty and some Disney projects. And I'm really inspired by Eyvind Earle. Huge fan of his work. That's why he's so famous and did a bunch of Disney movies. I think it's pretty obvious that he's good. But I was looking at the concept art for Bambi, and there is an artist who did that, and this is looking like the kind of Pan Pastel inspo we want to be looking for. His name was Tyrus Wong, and he was a Chinese-born American artist from, I should tell you, he was born in 1910, and he died in 2016. His art is amazing. Check it out. Oh, me? Put some work from Tyrus Wong in here. Tyrus Wong. Tyrus Wong. Okay? He was a painter, animator, calligrapher, muralist, ceramicist, lithographer, and kite maker, according to Wikipedia. So that's really cool. I'm a big fan. And if you see his work, which you will, because I'll show you, it's incredible. It's really, really beautiful. So this is kind of the thing these are the kind of fantasy sort of scenes I'm looking to create when I was thinking about getting these Pan Pastels, you know? So anyways, there's a big tree in here. These trees are kind of dark. Just gonna go quickly. And I'm just like messing with it. I really don't know what I'm doing. I made a cool pine tree though last night. I think it's very much like an intuitive thing. Like you're supposed to be having fun. You know how much I like to have fun. Let's get some more pink in here. I'm just stamping it with this thing they gave me in the bottom of this little set. I love it. I love how that looks. I love how fun it is. I'm not even doing anything yet. This one's in the foreground, so let's... Like once I get good at this, it's gonna be over for me. I'm gonna hyperfixate on doing this, I can already tell. Which is always a good thing. So we'll just make some impressions of that. And because you can erase, I really like that as well. I love that you can use the eraser as a huge tool for finishing the drawing. Or at what point is it a painting, you know? They do say like this is basically painting, so I'm guessing that's what we call it. So I'm not going to go too much into more detail about those. I want to, because there's a little bit of branches and stuff, I think we'll try to find some color pencils to match these colors. Sort of go that way with it. But I do want to get some cool shit going here. So yeah, this looks like a cold day forest scene. This is so much more fun than what I was doing with the color pencils. You know that I love color pencils, but this is, I really like how quickly we can lay this down especially for a landscape scene where you have to blur your eyes for a long time to try and figure out what's going on. I really like how, like, okay, it's random, just do it, you know? You can do that with this because it's so fast. So you can get a background laid in quickly, is what I'm saying. And it's good to lay in backgrounds and stuff quickly because if you think about stuff like that too much, sometimes it can not only waste time for something that's not, it's not that it's not important, but it's not the main center of focus. So if you focus too much on it, that's actually a problem because you're bringing focus to something you don't want to. Distracts from whatever your main image is. Okay. I think I'm happy with just leaving it at that and getting into the colored pencils now. Actually, I decided I wanted to try and fade some of these trees into the background just to see how that would go. And guess what? It's going great. I'm having so much fun. Okay, because I'm seeing more blue at the top. We'll go in with more color pencil and see how they blend with it and if we can do anything with that. I mean, yeah, in this, they could have at least given a couple of these tiny things. These are like literally 1 cent. You could probably get 100 of these for like $4. I don't know if that's true, but I'm just thinking this is kind of cheap to just only give this for 14 bucks. Sorry, I had to get that out. Oh no. What's happening? I'm scared. Let me find something lighter. It's rare that you find that the Holbein pencils are causing it to be darker. So, interesting. That makes sense though, because they are very light. This is a very light colored thing. That's not a problem. What I'm going to do is the lightest, this little light section where the sun is coming through here, I'm going to just erase it. How much can I rub with this too? Like, is a lot coming off? I don't know. See if I get brave enough to even do a face, which would be crazy. Yeah, try and stop me once I get that big pack of pastels. Nice, I like this. Stupid. Ta-da! I think the best way to show if this is gonna work properly is kind of by doing, let's get a little gradient going here at the top. See if we can blend it the way that they're saying. So that looks nice. Where is that little guy I had? Little guy, there you are. So I did like the other one, but I think this will be better for this kind of stuff. Yeah, from what I can tell, that's blending right in, I think. Pretty much. I think it is. I don't mind just doing it like this, though. I don't mind it just being a layer, but it's good to know that that's an option. I don't want to go too crazy, but I would like to add a little bit more tree-ish stuff. And what's so fun is that, like, even now that I'm doing more details and I'm using the pencil, I can just do this. Boop. I can still keep blending it. I can still keep pushing it into the background. Very versatile. I bet you Bob Ross would have liked this. I honestly like can't really recommend this enough. Like, it is a bit of like, I'm just so excited to learn this more. I can really see a good potential to do stuff with this. Can't touch it much. You can't be going around going over it with your hands. And that is something I do tend to do. That's okay though. Dare I try a bit of a darker color? Like, I wish I had this in October so I could have done some cool spooky scenes, but what's stopping me from doing spooky scenes? Really, nothing. I've actually been considering just going full-time spooky scenes. Not so much scenes, but like I always like creepy looking stuff, even though a lot sometimes it ends up looking like really just cute, and I still like that too, but I'm saying it doesn't have to be October or fall to have that vibe. You can carry that vibe with you all year. Maybe let it be known that there's a bit of ground here. I don't know. I mean, you know, I've been looking for something blendy and blurry, and this is really just checking the boxes. This is my luminous orange in the Holbein colors, hoping that it's going to deal better with the Pan Pastels. So the only thing I'm seeing that is just something that I'm going to have to be aware of is that the pencil will drag. So if I touch a darker color with it, the pencil sometimes could drag that darker color up, which I don't think is a huge issue due to the fact that you kind of want it to be blendy, but you don't also want it to get muddy. So depending on how much you're doing, I guess it's good to be aware of that. Okay, something cool, something cool. So now we have this. I'd like to add this in. Chartreuse green, love it. Just bringing out, I don't know, the fact that there's light in the middle. Really, it's more of a pinkish kind of thing, but I don't really. I guess I can use this luminous opera pink. See, I can't really do a full layer like that. I'm thinking that's going to be not a good call. Which again, that's fine. Got this amethyst color, which I always really like. These colors do not show up in the reference, but I'm feeling a little saucy today. And I've been looking for something that's more of an intuitive thing. I don't know if you guys watch Jess Carp. I haven't mentioned her, but I do watch her videos, and I've been watching her for years. She's very good, obviously, but she's really into intuitively drawing, and I think that's a really good idea. It's very hard for me to do, but I definitely want to do it because I think it will help me a lot to learn how to be like that. Keep it loose. Put the pencil to the paper. At the end of the day, the most important thing is that you get out there and you just do some drawing and have fun. Don't let the man get you down. Art is the last thing we got. They can't take art away from you. You can do art anytime you want. And you can enjoy art anytime you want. It's really good for your brain. And doing intuitive kind of stuff like that, this is what I would just, and same like, you know, if you do see Mad Charcoal on Instagram or TikTok, it's kind of like that too, where of course he's got a plan. I'm sure he's very talented, but there's, you know, something about just letting it flow and getting to the stage where you can just like let it go like that. The way that those people are doing that is really cool. How much detail we want to go into here, you know. I think it's really about the atmosphere. I think it's about kind of the colors. And Tyrus Wong, sometimes it's so, I don't know how he did that, how he made those scenes just you can get so much out of just a couple of essentially blobs of color that he's just blended and just done a couple leaves or something, but it's so, so nice looking. I'm telling you, he's like my new favorite artist. I'm obsessed. Oh, I like this. I was hoping that doing this would get me out of art block, and I'm feeling it leaving my body. Okay, Misty. I don't think there's snow on the ground in this image, but in my head there is. Or at least it's a very cold November day. So now that I've got a couple layers of pencil over top, I'm feeling that it is easier to color over top of the Pan Pastel. It's not giving me as much, it's not moving around as much. So that's good to know. Let's try this. People use their fingers a lot with oil pastels, and that was something I did not. I don't like getting my hands dirty. If you see some of the stuff people can do with oil pastels, it's crazy. I mean, that's kind of like, that's like painting too. But that's what was shying me away from getting these pan pastels. I didn't know there was a whole thing you could do with little applicators and all kinds of stuff. You don't really have to get that dirty. I don't like the idea of the oils, even from blending stuff with my fingers, color pencil wise. I don't like that either. I know people do that, and that's totally fine. It's just me, my own preference, just because I don't like doing that. I find I'm touching a lot of stuff, and then it gets everywhere, and it always ends up looking all muddy because I'm not careful enough like that. And I don't like the oils of my hands getting onto the drawing. That just, for some reason, bothers me. I don't know that I even really care to do more. I think I think it's okay. There's a couple, like, a lot of branches here, but I sort of don't want to mess around too much with that. Don't really see the point. I guess that does kind of look cool, actually. Let's throw in a couple little dots here and there just for fun. Just want it to look like there's more trees with naked branches on them up here. Yeah, like the amount of satisfaction I'm getting from just blending this is, I don't really know how to explain the way that it feels, but it feels very good and it looks exactly like what I wanted it to look like. There's also a lot of product in those Pan Pastel pans. I've heard that people who even use it often, it's like a lot of color pencil in one pan, essentially. I'm trying to think of it in the way of color pencils. Like, they can go down pretty fast. So I think it is pretty good value, but I will let you know in the future how fast I run out of whatever ends up being my favorite color. And we can sort of determine that, but I'll have to use it for a while to tell you really what the deal is there. But from what I've seen from people who are using it often for their works, they seem to think that it's quite a good value. That they give you a lot in the pan. I've never been able to really kind of do this so quickly. If I was doing this last week with colored pencils, this would have taken me hours. It's been like 20 minutes or so. I did get this a bit dirty, but I think it was on the back of my hand. I wish I could find my kneadable eraser also. I lost that. I think I'm just going to take this and spray it with fixative outside now, and then I'll take the tape off. I just put the tape on lightly because I didn't want it to rip the paper. And that was fine. Ooh, look at that smooth line. I feel like you could maybe do something, if you didn't want to get the pan pastels, you could probably get soft pastels. I think it's the same kind of thing. If you don't mind getting your hands dirty, I think you could do something like this with the soft pastels as well. I think they're very blendable. Okay, very satisfying, very straight line. Okay, so now let's try doing something right here. I sort of want to try to do my own little Christmas tree. I'm scared to mess up how much I like this. It doesn't matter. I don't care. This one I'm doing from my imagination, so we're going to need to hope and pray for the best. I would like it to look kind of like the sun is setting behind this tree. And I think I sort of... Ooh, I think I got fixative on it. Or it's the glue from the tape, maybe. Shoot. So it might not be as smooth as the other one, but we'll see if we can layer it up a bit. So I kind of want a Christmas tree to be in the center there. I say Christmas tree, but I mean like pine kind of tree. So that's the purple. Let's do some of this greenish yellow. And then I want pink in the... I guess I should probably research what like a winter sky even looks like. I felt that I knew. Yeah, that's too bad there's like a line there. I'll see what I can do about it. Maybe add some stars or something to make that a little less noticeable later. So just trying to get some kind of an atmosphere. This is kind of a quickie one. Yeah, that's good, I think. Some pink in the middle. And I don't want to go too much layers due to the layering issue that apparently is there. Let's get some snow kind of like this. And like that. And this is sort of up here. And the tree will be right there. And the light will be coming behind it. I want you to be able to see what I'm taking here. I'm starting with this. So I did this last night. I did it with the tiny applicator. And I'm like, do I still use the tiny applicator or do I use this thing? Because I do like this thing. Look at what happens to it after just one kind of session of using it. Look how like roughed up the top is. So that's not great. I don't really like that that's the fact. That would be like my only kind of complaint. Okay, let's just start. If I can't get the tiny, yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to. I don't want to risk it. I'll use this little guy. It was working pretty good for me before, so I'll start with the lighter color, and I'm just going to try to intuitively do this. And if it looks like ass after, sorry. Still having fun, still loving it. I wish I had like a long stick this could be on because I hate doing this. It's pathetically tiny. But they wanted to give you like, it was in the bottom of the container that it came with, so. It's just so much easier and so much fun when you're doing things like this to just be able to like block in big shapes quickly. It's really efficient. And it keeps the process like fun and not taking too long, you know? And I'm just doing these little kind of tiny movements. My plan is that I'm going to, what's it called? I'm going to erase after that where there's snow or there's a highlight or something like that. So I'm just kind of putting colors in, really. And from what I saw before, like when I was doing this as just a little, I was just checking them out last night. If you just kind of freely do it, it sort of just makes its own shapes in there. We hope. So because the light is coming from behind, I want the center of the tree to be the most dark, I guess. I do wish there was something more, maybe it could go into a bit more detail with, but maybe that's just a skill thing and I haven't used it enough yet. But I feel like that's kind of what the color pencil thing is for. Like these are really, they do say these are supposed to be meant to be used a lot with color pencil, which that's what attracted me to them anyway. It's exactly kind of what I was looking for. And so I am noticing that because I layered a lot on behind, because I was messing around a bit there, it's not going on as smooth as my trial one. That's totally fine because I do still like the way it looks, but I'm getting a bit more of a dusty, it's a bit more dusty. It's not sticking to the paper as much. So they do be serious about that you need to like be light with it at first. But just because it's coming from my head and I was sketching around, that's why. I just want to make some cool, some cool little things in here. Okay. So that's like literally that, I like that, which is crazy because I never usually like how these things go. Oh, oops. I didn't realize there was still green on there. Okay, well, that's all right. I wanted to put something over there anyway. I just want something to be covering that sort of where the snow is there. I'd love to take a clean one and go pff, like in the background, so we may do that after. For now, I guess let's keep it like this and then let's go in with color pencil because I think we're reaching the threshold of what we can layer on here. I don't think that we should really go further with that. Ta-da! So now let's try and tackle this issue with the tape being up here. Kind of color pencil tends to add a bit more texture, so I'm hoping that it'll hide in the texture. If not, whatever. It's really just to test them, so it's just for fun. I can feel the glue of that, so that's too bad. I can just add some little snow flakes or whatever, so no problem. It's just like, I'm just having so much fun, and it's not about it being fast. Like, it's really cool that I feel like I was able to get so much done here in very little amount of time and convey what I had in my head very quickly, which is a huge bonus for me. But it's not just about that. It's also about the fact that, like, it's not just about if you're doing stuff fast. That doesn't really matter. It's like taking away from the parts of it that are tedious and finding ways to do things efficiently that you like gives you more time and like time to focus on what you do like to do in painting and drawing and stuff, you know? So it's like if you can find a tool that helps you to do that, it's always so exciting. Like it's taking me right to the part where I want to be, where I'm just rendering stuff very quickly. And I also had like double fun when I was doing it. Okay, be careful with that. So I'm taking this luminous pink color, luminous opera it's called. Really no notes on that, I guess. Dare I do a little bit of the orange? Yeah, I do. Who are we kidding? I'm just worried about picking up the dust when I'm going that close to the actual tree part. I'm wiping it off on the side of this towel because I think it helps it for some reason. So what's everybody's favorite movies for this time of year? Mine is Krampus. I was excited to get that out. Oh, and Christmas Vacation, obviously. To me, this tree is little, but it does kind of remind me of the scene in Christmas Vacation where they find that giant-ass tree. And he's like... Anyways. You know what happens. It's hilarious. Okay, do we need to do more? I don't really know. Do I want to? Yeah, I want to keep going, but I don't know if there is more to do. I'll put some yellow right here, I guess. I'd like to separate this sky from the snow a bit, but I absolutely love this color, so I don't know if I need to, but I guess this is what I used for the sky. This is what I use for the sky. It's rose gray. And to separate, I'll do wisteria, which is more of a, you can obviously see one is warmer and one is cooler. So I'm just going to use this to lightly separate the snow and add a bit of shadow, but nothing crazy because I really, really like the color and the smoothness of what's happening there. I think it's really giving a very snowy effect. So I'm just going to add a little bit of shadow here and there. I'm going to use this tiny Tombow Mono Zero eraser. It's very, very small. This is a small drawing, so I'm going to be pretty honest here. I'm not really seeing too much that I even want to... I'm not seeing too much that I even really want to do. Like, kind of like it how it is. Let me see some stuff here. So just where I'm seeing that there's like pieces that are already sort of, I'm just kind of bringing out what happened, I guess. Just to make it like, I like how this is. I like how it looks like fluffy if I do that. Kind of bring these into the back. You guys, I'm not kidding of how much fun I am having right now. I really needed to have some fun. I love what's happening right here. I think this needs a bit more of something, maybe something in here, just kind of, I'm not seeing where I'm gonna, where I even have to go. Let's take this green, I guess, and sort of like brighten up where we need to. Bring a bit more saturation. I don't know how much this is even gonna do. It's doing stuff. I could darken some spots. Guess what this color is called? Fur green. Fur green. I'm just gonna try and, I don't know if this is gonna ruin it or anything or make it too detailed, but hey. We gotta try to know. At first I was like, I'm gonna put snow on this tree, but I think I just want it to be snowing in this tree to not have any snow on it. I don't know why. Like, I like how the branches and stuff look the way they are right now, so now I'm looking at it from a bit further away. I'm just gonna do, actually, I'm going to do this burgundy color to bring just something different, a little bit of brownness into it. That fur green is a nice color, but it's too cool for my liking for the other colors I've got going on here. This, the dark green in particular, is quite warm in comparison, so I'm just gonna go over a couple bits here. But I like the yellow light coming through because it's like, this is just a little tree, kind of sparse. The light's coming through, the light is behind. I think that's being conveyed to the best of my abilities at this moment. Yeah, that's better. I just needed a bit of something else, a little bit of reddish or whatever. I don't want to do any more, really. I do want to do some cute little... Now let's see how a jelly roll goes on this. Because I do want to do some cute little snowflakes. And I don't know how the jelly roll will react to that. Yeah, came right off. So I guess I'll have to layer it up maybe. I think what I'm going to try is see if I can, because obviously this is really light. White, it's white. It's the lightest you can go. I don't want it to be that light. So I'm going to see if I can get away with, once it's dry, smudging it in a bit so I can get sort of a purpley hue on them, or whatever color they're in. Can I get that going? If I can't, it's not a big deal. I don't even think I would be doing this if it wasn't for the fact that there's all this like tape junk there. So I'm really just trying to cover up the fact that this is spotty. Try to blend it with my finger a little bit. Yeah, once it's dry, I'm good. Yeah, so just like a bit of snow, whatever, fun. And that's that. That's pretty much that. Let's take the tape off. Okay, so I sprayed the fixative, and now I'm just gonna take this tape off. I know this isn't stuff that I normally do, and I usually do like characters and stuff. I'm just in like a studying mode, so I hope that's okay with everybody. And I hope you still like this style of art in the video. Ooh, boy, that's a bad one. Okay, whatever, it's okay. I just don't want it to rip the picture. With the raking light, you can really see that, but it doesn't look that bad. Just look at it from far away and blur your eyes, okay? So here is it all finished. My two sort of sketches, first attempts with the Pan Pastels. One from my imagination and one from a reference-ish. And I just really have no notes. I can't say enough good things about these. My only thing was the applicators. We need work on that. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to find a solution that's good, I guess. And I hope you liked this video. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you next week. Bye!